Hey guys! Well, day one following our super Mars oriented full moon in Aries yesterday. And to kick things off for this full moon in Aries cycle that we have unfolding over the next 2 weeks, we have Mars coming into exact square to Pluto today. You guys, this is like the clash of the Titans. And we also have a lot of Venus emphasis in our energy today as well. So it really is another day brought to us by Venus and Mars, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, at it again, really trying to help us come to an internal wholeness and a reintegration of the feminine and the masculine dynamics and energies happening within us. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 21st, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. Ah, guys, this is a week, right? What a week. Well, it's not stopping. It is continuing on with more of these just super like potent, crazy, powerful energetics that are all really working to liberate us, to free us, to get us to break toxic cycles, toxic patterns that have been keeping us in like the same reoccurring circumstances and loops and patterns that have been not allowing us to grow into our true potential. We are ending these cycles right now, and it has a lot to do with us being reacquainted and developing and cultivating a much better relationship with the truth of our own internal value, our self-worth, our self-love, and what we truly need for our heart to really feel free, okay? These are the dynamics that we're working with energetically that are really causing all of this chaos, all of this upheaval, and that are being brought to us by the energetics that are being activated by all of these very powerful planets making transits right now as we are in this transition of paradigms from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. We are in like year 0 right now of the age of Aquarius. The old is falling away, the new is coming in, and we're sort of caught in this place in between right now. We're like in the meantime, you know what I mean? We're undergoing these really profound internal shifts and changes and metamorphosis as we come back into a true relationship and an authentic relationship with those things, our internal value, our self-worth, our self-love, and what our heart truly needs. As we are being reacquainted with this, it is causing all types of shakeups in our external circumstances and in our external lives because it's bringing us back into a greater sense of our own personal power. And that is where all of these Mars aspects come in. So let's get into the astrology for today now that my prelude of the changes that are happening internally and how they lead us into the age of Aquarius is wrapped up, I guess. Okay. So day one, Mars in exact square to Pluto. This is, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is like a clash of the Titans, and it really can go two ways when we have this energetic being activated. It can make, it can prime us for creatively transforming the world around us in some very profound and regenerative and meaningful ways. Or it can be fierce power struggles and disagreements coming at us from every direction. So there are two very specific octaves in which this energetic can represent itself. And, both can be playing out simultaneously at the exact same time. And, they're both serving their own purposes. And it's almost like one is a consequence of the other in some type of a way. Because also, if you think about it, if we are creatively transforming the world around us, as a consequence, as a side effect, it is likely to bring up some fierce power struggles and disagreements in terms of the status quo and how things have been. So there's sort of like the opposite sides of the same coin, but these are the two specific ways that this Pluto-Mars square transit has the inclination of playing out, okay? That's usually like what we can expect with this transit, one end of these energetics or the other. But again, the way I see it, they're kind of simultaneously working together because it's like you can't really have creative transformation, changing the world around you without it simultaneously causing some fierce power struggles and disagreements over things. So Mars square Pluto basically boils down to that from an energetic, like traditional transit definition perspective. The way I'm seeing this, though, really it is like the spiritual warrior, Mars, in a square, in a conflict, in a battle with the Dark Lord of the underworld, Pluto. battle of light versus dark as a metaphor for the battle that is going on internally with all of us right now, trying to transition from our lower selves into our higher selves. It's the battle of the lower self, the ego and the instincts, versus the higher self, the intuition and the genuine understanding and self-knowledge that gives us our self-empowerment. The divine masculine and the divine feminine, reintegrated self-mastery, self-empowerment, versus the instincts, the ego, and the victim mentality that can come with that a lot of times. So this is the battle that is going on individually, collectively within us, and quite literally, there is also a battle of light versus dark that is playing out collectively on the macrocosm as well. So I really feel like this square is really representing that clash of the titans theme or the energy or the idea. Mars, very much the spiritual warrior, the ruler of the battlefield. Pluto, very much the dark lord, the lord of the underworld, coming to a square, coming to 90 degrees, facing off with each other. And I'm telling you, the spiritual warrior is going to be victorious in this battle, because that's the way it has to be in order for us to progress into the age of Aquarius, which we already know is the trajectory of the cosmic blueprint. So we have nothing to fear. The story has already been written. We are just witnessing it unfold at this point in time. It's very interesting. So let's think about signs for a minute, right? This square, Mars and Pluto, ultimately is about restoring balance and taking back power. Mars is in Libra, fighting Mars for justice, balance, and peace. Libra, Venus. Mars is fighting for Venus, fighting for the feminine themes, fighting for a restoration of justice, peace, and balance. Squaring off with Pluto, the lord of the underworld, in Capricorn. Y'all, this is representing authority, governments, and long-standing power and control dynamics. Pluto, the lord of the underworld, in the sign of Capricorn. The authority, the structure, the established ways that have been going on for long periods of time. Things are getting busted up. There is a spiritual battle going on right now between the spiritual warrior, divine masculine archetype, and the dark lord, Lord Voldemort, lord of the underworld, facing off. Mars fighting for the feminine frequencies to restore peace, balance, and justice to our lives in relationships, specifically relationship dynamics, because this is Libra, with long-standing power and control dynamics that have been keeping us out of being able to recognize the truth of our inner value and our self-love, those Venus themes. So this is really profound, especially considering we just had the full moon in Aries ruled by Mars. We are at the midpoint in this astrological year, where at the beginning of this year, the symbolism and the aspects in effect were telling us that this exact thing was going to play out and was going to happen over the course of this year, that we were going to be breaking the chains, breaking out of the grasp of anything that has been controlling us and overpowering us and holding us back for long periods of time. And that is what this aspect is doing. Fighting for justice, peace, and balance, and a restoration of the heart from long-standing power and control dynamics that have been keeping us out of our personal power, that is a derivative of the acceptance, the understanding, and the relationship that we have to our own internal truth, value, self-worth, self-love, and what our heart truly needs to be free, right? Okay, next. I said that this is also, not only is Mars a major theme of this day today, but Venus is a major theme of this day today as well. And that is because, of course, we have the sun in Libra still, and we have Mars in Libra, both speaking to Venus, but also today, you guys, we have the moon in Taurus. The moon in Taurus, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So we have the sun and Mars and Mercury as well, both in Venus's sign. And not only that, we have the moon today, our other luminary in Taurus, also ruled by Venus. So Venus is being emphasized by sign today, both the sun and the moon and her counterpart Mars doing all of this business with Pluto, bringing up Venus themes. Moon in Taurus, sun and Mars in Libra, both ruled by Venus. And not only that, today the moon will also be making a quincunx to Venus in Sagittarius, activating Venus by transit as well. So Venus is being activated by both luminaries in their sign placement today, as well as by aspect through the quincunx with the moon. And so, like I said, despite this Mars-Pluto square that we have going on today and all of this very strong divine masculine spiritual warrior Mars energy, all of this action is really happening to restore our relationship to our true inner value, self-worth, and self-love. Venus currently in Sagittarius. When Venus is in Sagittarius, true love, true value, true self-worth, true self-love, and the ability to freely express ourselves in these ways is the name of the game, the theme of the day, what she's after. And with all of this energy in Venus's sign and the moon aspecting Venus today as well, it's talking about Venus's presence in Sagittarius and what she desires and what she needs there. And again, this is all about truth, true love, and freedom of expression in terms of what we truly love and what we truly value. And so everything that is going on with Mars today, and even the moon's placement, is talking about the purpose is to get us to this place of true love, okay? We have, like I said, the sun in Libra, Mars in Libra, the moon in Taurus, also making aspect to Venus in Sagittarius. And it's, it's interesting as well because Venus is in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, who is also currently still in a trine to Mars, although it's not exact anymore. So honestly, you guys, the energetics today, the way the transits and everything are playing out, it makes me think of like a feedback loop because it's really like of this divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And I just really see them working so much together at this point in time. And it's just so interesting in the context. You guys should go back and watch my video from the new moon in Aries. It's one of my first videos. And I'm a little self-conscious about it because it was like one of my first videos, but and I wasn't really very comfortable doing this back then, but it's still good information and it really gives you a point of reference in terms of what is going on now, because like there was a certain message that was in place when we started this year. And now at the midpoint of this year, it's like everything's falling into place and we're beginning to be able to see how what was indicated to be happening at the new moon is actually happening now. And it's carrying us through. Like I said, there is a big date coming up in the beginning of March of 2022. And this is a very significant, I see this as like an extremely significant period of time because Venus and Mars are both going to be coming into an exact conjunction with Pluto at the same time on the same day together. And that is going to be wrapping up this lunar year because, March, and then in April, we're going to move back into the new moon in Aries, which will start our new lunar year for 2022, our new astrological lunar cycle for 2022. And so it's like, it's really going to take us through the very end of this lunar cycle that started this year on April 11th, 2021, for us to see the outcomes of the changes that are happening now and to really come back into this reintegration and this internal wholeness and really be discovering and truly seeing and witnessing the power that is a result of the re-recognition and our relationship that we are re-acknowledging to our self-worth, our self-value, our internal truth, and what we really need to be free, all of those Venus and Sag themes right now. By the time we get to the end of this lunar cycle this year, this new astrological year, we will really be seeing the outcome of the things that are transpiring now. But the things that are transpiring now are what is making what started with the new moon in Aries this year actually happen and come into being. And it has so much to do with the divine feminine and the divine masculine working together on the same page towards the same purpose. And like I said, today, it's like I'm seeing these energetics. It's like this feedback loop because it's like we have Mars in a square to Pluto and also simultaneously still a trine to Jupiter, expanding this energy, expanding this spiritual warrior versus Lord of the Underworld energy, blowing it up, making it bigger. We have, so we have Mars in square to Pluto, also trine Jupiter, and this is working to break us out of these toxic cycles and help us come back into our ability to recommit to the truth and the value that we hold inside of us. And then this process of recommitting to this truth and this value and this love and this self-worth that we hold inside of us, this is empowering us to do the Mars square Pluto thing, right? And it's also interesting because we have Venus in Sagittarius right now, which is ruled by Jupiter. So it's like at the end of the feedback loop, we get back to Venus in Sag, which is ruled by Jupiter, which again is talking about expanding what is going on with Mars. So it's like we have Mars squaring Pluto, trying to break us out of situations that are keeping us out of the truth of our heart, Venus in Sagittarius, but then Jupiter is coming back in and expanding it all so that we can go back and do it again. You know what I mean? It's like this cycle that's going on right now. It's like the more we are recognizing and coming into the truth of our self-love, our self-worth, and our self-value, and like expanding our relationship to the worth and the value that we hold inside of us, this is giving us more and more power to do the thing where we're breaking the cycles and breaking out of these long-standing systems of power and control for the purpose of allowing us to like nurture and like propel forward that love and self-value and self-worth that we have inside of us, which is empowering us to bring, it's just this perpetual feedback loop of energetics today, the way that I'm seeing it in terms of both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, like working together to assist each other in their job right now to like break us free and bring us back into this relationship, this stronger relationship with what we truly hold inside. And they're both empowering, strengthening each other, working together for the same purpose. And then we have Jupiter, ruler of Venus and Sag, coming in and just expanding and blessing it all. So very interesting dynamics we have going on with that. Also, because we have the moon in Taurus today, that means that the moon is going to be coming into a conjunction with Uranus, ruler of the age of Aquarius, ruler of the Aquarian frequencies. Whenever we have a moon coming to conjoin Uranus, this is when we can expect shocks, surprises, and just generally crazy things happening. Why? To shake us out of situations that are out of alignment with our truth and our authenticity, so that we can move forward and do this exact same thing, right? Uranus is the fixer. Uranus is the great rectifier. Uranus is the silver lining planet. Uranus makes crazy, shocking, surprising things happen that we weren't prepared for, weren't expecting, weren't anticipating, and a lot of times are really not very comfortable for us, but it's always for the purpose of writing things in some type of a way. And right now, specifically year 0 of the age of Aquarius, as we're transitioning paradigms right now, whenever Uranus is being activated, it is always for the purpose of breaking us out of situations that are limiting our potential and our ability to connect with the authenticity of who we truly are and our unique, original truth and form that universe wants us to grow and develop into its full potential so that we can serve it back to humanity and really experience a level of fulfillment that we are completely really unacquainted with at this point in time for the most part. That's where we're moving towards. Also though, with the moon in a conjunction with Uranus today, I already said it is making this quincunx to Venus. The moon is also making another quincunx to Mercury today. So this is forming a yod. Yods are also called a finger of God aspect. And we're having the moon and Uranus as the apex of this finger of God that is bringing up both Mercury, now direct, in Libra, and Venus in Sagittarius. So this energy today may bring up some erratic financial markets, for one. Something we could expect with this. Again, and this is also with the moon conjunct Mercury, the moon conjunct Uranus, but shocks, surprises, upheavals in all Venus themes. Comfort, security, pleasure, material possessions, relationships, finances, partnerships, justice, peace, balance. Things could be being thrown up in the air in a lot of ways for us today with these aspects going on. But with Mercury and Venus both involved in this yod with Uranus and the moon, it could definitely be financially oriented economies, markets, supply chains. Stuff like that. Mercury rules things going back and forth, transactions, sales, and Venus rules money, finances, markets, all of that type of stuff. So All of that is specifically indicated. Also, strange news and information, potentially about money because of that Mercury, communication, news, information, strange things maybe on social media or just headlines. Things happening out of the blue, again, that are disturbing the comfort of things and just kind of maybe like strange or bizarre or weird in some type of a way, especially with the quincunxes and the yods, because those are generally aspects of things like not lining up really well. And with Uranus being the apex of this, it's we just really don't know. It can just, things can get a little weird today with this particular aspect that we have going on. And this is not a huge aspect, but I just found it to be slightly significant because it is with Venus. The moon is in Venus's sign. It is in Uranus. Uranus is a very significant planet right now as it rules the age of Aquarius, the Aquarian frequency, the Aquarian paradigm, and it is doing everything to get us to transition into that energy. And also Mercury having just gone direct, I felt like, because of the planets involved, that this may be something worth talking about today. So I wanted to mention it. But, it is Uranus. And like I said, Uranus is the fixer. So ultimately, this is all about putting things into a better alignment for authentic development in some way or another. And with Mars still in the trine to Jupiter, although it is no longer exact, this is also talking about things growing that we're putting our energy into right now. So there may be some adjustments taking place today, courtesy of Uranus and the conjunction to the moon. But generally, whatever is happening is for the purpose of realigning us or getting us into a better alignment with authenticity, with Uranus being in this game today for these aspects. The last thing I want to talk about today, breaking cycles. This theme was indicated heavily yesterday with Venus, ruler of the Libra cycle, at the degree of 15 Sagittarius, a groundhog chasing its shadow on Groundhog's Day. And, this was indicating that whatever was going on with this full moon, and specifically with Mars as the ruler of Aries, was for the purpose of breaking us out of some type of repetitive loop, repetitive cycle, having us chasing our tails about something that was like legitimately getting us absolutely nowhere. The groundhog gets absolutely nothing from seeing its shadow or not seeing its shadow. It's like couldn't be less relevant to the life of the groundhog, right? So we had that in effect for yesterday, and now today for the energetics that we have today, the sun is at 29 degrees of Libra, which is the Sabian symbol, mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge, transferable from generation to generation. And before I go any farther, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. And for those of you who have not learned about the Sabian symbols yet, what they are is a group of symbols that describes each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a degree, making an aspect, discharging a specific degree, we can look to the degree and read the symbol of that degree, and it really just gives us more information about the underlying purpose for the aspect right now in the context of this grand unfolding cosmic saga that is constantly carrying us through time and space. So I always look at the Sabian symbols because they just give us more information to use in analyzing the aspects, the degree placement, and it helps us understand in the context of this grand unfolding story what the purpose of this specific aspect is. So I love the Sabians and I always use them. And so that's what I was referring to when I was talking about 29 degrees of Libra, where the sun is today, mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. Now, like I said, for the full moon yesterday, we had Venus at 15 Sag talking about the groundhog, and today we are speaking about knowledge. The sun, the position of the sun, is talking about knowledge passed from generation to generation, while we have these other aspects going on, breaking us out of cycles. And, remember, we still have Mercury, who has just recently stationed direct and has not moved degrees yet. in an opposition, only 1 degree orb off to Chiron. Both of them are at degrees right now at Sabian symbols, talking about teachers and learning, okay? We have Mercury right now at 11 degrees of Libra, a professor peering over his glasses at his students. And we have Chiron at 10 degrees of Aries, a teacher gives new symbolic forms to traditional images. And this degree, this aspect that we have going on, and we've had going on all week since Mercury stationed direct, has really been talking about mental mastery and the evolution of thought and perspective that we are experiencing now as a result of wisdom gained through experience that is changing and upgrading our knowledge and our wisdom and our mindset and our perspective. And as a result of this, it's like in the context of the sun at this degree today, talking about knowledge transferable from generation to generation. It's like we are now writing a new story that changes the knowledge that will be passed on going forward, breaking cycles. Mental mastery and evolution of thought and perspective, like I just said, are upgrading our knowledge and our wisdom that will be passed to future generations. We are breaking cycles held in place by old belief systems and unconscious thought patterns that are changing now. And again, this also references the South Node, what we need to release, what we need to move on from, what we need to let go of so that we can move forward down a new path and evolve, essentially. In Sagittarius, talking about a really great need right now to release past outdated belief systems that are no longer in alignment with the authentic truth that we're realizing that we hold deeply within our heart. So even the position of the sun today in the context of Mercury Chiron opposition and the Mars square to Pluto and Venus in Sag is talking about breaking the cycles of knowledge that have been handed down, breaking the generational traumas and the generational subconscious programming that has been handed down from generation to generation throughout this age of Pisces paradigm over the last 2,000 years that no longer resonates with the way that we need to be perceiving and understanding reality now and going forward into the future as we are transitioning paradigms and moving into the age of Aquarius. The knowledge that has been transferable from generation to generation up until now is not working anymore. We're breaking these cycles. We're breaking these loops that are keeping us out of the truth of what is really in our heart and our personal power and our self-mastery and our self-knowledge and our ability to come into our potential and to experience true, genuine fulfillment and then to give that back to the greater good of humanity as our service, as the service that we contribute to the greater good as a result of reaching our highest potential. That's really the name of the game. That is really what it's all about. And the knowledge that is going to be transferred to generations going forward from this point forward is much different than the knowledge that has been transferred generation to generation up until this point. Honestly, you guys, like at this point in time, we are all the cycle breakers. We are the ones that are like changing things for our entire family lines, our entire ancestral lines. We are at the point right now where we are breaking karmic cycles and we are moving forward. And our generation, the people that are transitioning paradigms energetically right now and helping bridge the old world to the new world, we are the ones that are doing it, and we're breaking these cycles, and the knowledge, like I said, that's transferable going forward is not going to be the same knowledge that we have dealt with up until this point. So I found that to be interesting in terms of the placements going on today as well. So that is basically what I have for my report today in terms of the energetics. It's really like this feedback loop between Venus and Mars with, Mars standing up to the forces that have been hindering us and breaking the chains so that the heart can be open to truly express its truth. And that process gives us even more power to change things and to break out of these cycles going forward, which even fills us with more self-love, self-worth, and self-value. You know what I mean? And so it really is like this feedback loop that is freeing us, liberating us, and empowering us at the same time, and also creating a sense of inner wholeness in us that, again, we won't see these outcomes until we get more through this year. But that's what's happening. That's what's going on. So let's talk about the tarot for a second, you guys. I got some cards this morning, clarify the energy for all of us, what we have going on today. And the messaging that came out was really cute. So the first card that came out was the Knight of Cups. This is about receiving some type of offer. This guy is writing to you and he's got a cup for you that he wants to give you. He wants to hand you his cup. And, you know, I was a little like, I needed some clarification on this because, you know, there's an offer for something, but I was like, ooh, what's the offer for? Like, what are we being offered? And then the next card that came out, you guys, literally the Nine of Cups. This is the wish card. This is hopes, wishes, and dreams. This is wish fulfillment, okay? So what are we being offered right now collectively? We're being offered wish fulfillment, okay? And what was the bottom of the deck? What's the only thing that we need to do to get that? It was the Five of Wands upside down. This card is all about fighting and conflict and, like, you know, aggressively asserting yourself. But when it's upside down, it's like not fighting something, not resisting something, like surrender. And so the way that I'm reading this is really like, let's see, what did I write? Universe is trying to bring us a new offer for ultimate fulfillment and wishes coming true. Literally bringing us a full cup, right? And this is also funny because we just had the North Node, destiny, the future, where the blueprint, the cosmic blueprint wants to evolve us to, move to 2 degrees of Gemini, which is Santa Claus furtively filling stockings on Christmas, having your stocking filled with blessings, abundance, and gifts. And then we get this card talking about this is what's being offered to us, right? If we can just stop fighting back and resisting the changes that are happening now, if we can surrender to the universe and to the changes that it is pushing us towards, the universe is trying to free us and really give us the gift of ultimate fulfillment. And if we can stop fighting against that, and if we can surrender to that with faith and love and stop resisting what is happening because it's uncomfortable or it's scary or it seems really difficult and challenging, then universe and God is trying to bring us a cup filled with our true wishes, our true desires, and all we need to do is let it happen. So that's what the message from the tarot is today. We need to stop fighting the change, stop resisting the change, surrender to the things that are happening now, because that is going to bring us some true fulfillment. I have about 1 more minute before my camera shuts off. I'm going to grab us a synchronicity message real quick. I'm not going to shuffle along. This is for anyone watching this right now. Just a little message from Spirit, from God, in case you need some advice today. We have forget the past. I feel like I was just talking all about this. Remember yet not the former things, Isaiah 43:18, and walk in love, Ephesians 5:2. Strive for goodwill to all men, exhibit good spirit, and salute God in all those you meet. Forget the past is dead. Nothing matters but this moment. Change your present thoughts and keep them changed, and you will change your destiny. Stop fighting the changes, you guys. Forget the past. And there is a cup filled with ultimate fulfillment on its way to you. That's what I have for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, keep leaving me comments. You guys, I love your comments. AubreyStarsAstrology@gmail.com if you need to get a hold of me. I have a Facebook page and a Facebook group as well. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys, so we can talk all about the astrology that is coming up this weekend. Wishing everybody a